Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful Rabbit Hole, Lord Frey, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon. We we have confirmation. Massive spoiler warning for Bayonetta 3. We have confirmation that not only is Bayonetta based, it's also not gay. Certified hashtag not gay. Certified anti-LGBT material. Wow. I am very, very surprised by this, honestly, because as a longtime fan of Bayonetta, I really was concerned that Platinum Games would fold, they would cuck. I long expected that they would seriously go down this route of pandering to like Yuri shitters and people who really legitimately wanted Bayonetta to be Bayonetta to be a lesbian. But that would have been a retcon. That would have like gone against like what the first two games established, especially the first. But I really was expecting it to happen, considering just how prevalent Yuri content has been for the character over the past several years. It feels like ever since 2 came out, like one of the things that younger fans, people get into the fans who get into the series later, a lot of what the general audience, online audience, seems to have wanted was for Bayonetta and Jean, I should say, excuse me, Jean. I keep mispronouncing Jean. Bayonetta and Jean being in a lesbian relationship, because that has been like a prevalent thing over the past several years. Something that's been coming up more and more is that like I was seeing a lot of people pushing for that, and I was worried that like it would become canon, that Platinum would see this and like cater to these people, that it would be a thing. But no, as we now know in Bayonetta 3, Bayonetta is not just straight in the main canon universe. Apparently, she is heterosexual in all universes. We have confirmation that Bayonetta does bang Luca, and that Viola is her daughter, which kind of confuses me because like the white hair, I don't know where the white hair came from. She doesn't look like Bayonetta at all. She takes more after her dad, but that is the confirmation we have, is that like Viola is Bayonetta and Luca's daughter, completely heterosexual child. Okay, that is amazing to me, in a lot of ways, because I I I really was taken aback by the sheer amount of people who were pushing the whole like Bayonetta Jean angle, right? Because anyone who actually played the games would tell you that like that's not what they were going for. Like the realization I had like when I was going through, when I actually 100%ed Bayonetta 2, when I went back through Bayonetta 1, when like I go through all this deep lore, like you realize eventually that like the narrative that the series is extremely LGBT community friendly kind of falls apart, right? It feels like the people like pushing the whole LGBT angle like weren't actually fans of the games, because nobody who actually played the first game really came away with the impression that like, ooh, Bayonetta and Jean are in a lesbian relationship. It's entirely a fabricated thing made up by the internet that kind of took off among a certain group of people and kind of dominated dominated discussion of the series in between like 2 released in 2014 and 3 released in 2022. So the series was essentially in limbo for 8 years, and in that time span there there came this fan theory that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, that doesn't correlate with what actually happens in the games, that honestly doesn't seem to match up with what the developers wanted, right? I think a big reason the series came up, the theory came out the way that it did, was that like Kamiya was like actively teasing these people on Twitter. Like they would send him like pictures of Bayo and Jean being together and stuff like that, and he would like give you winky faces. So instead of like accepting that as being like, just kind of teasing you, like leading you on this specific topic, like people took that to mean that it was like confirmed canon, when apparently it wasn't. All along they were always going for Bayonetta to be with Luca, in spite of like statements made and stuff like that. To me, that is unbelievably based. It is the opposite of what happened with Bridget. Okay, like this is kind of surprising. I'm wondering exactly like why it turned out this way, because I really thought they would retcon everything that's happened up this point and really try and like go down that route of like doing it. It was the one major concern I had about Bayonetta 3 before like the Wonderful One Kickstarter and like before everything else that's gone down. That's kind of what I've been saying for a while now, is that like the thing that would like the one thing that would get me to like 100% not support the game is if they make Bayonetta and Jean a couple. It made no sense to me. I didn't want that. I'm sure like actual fans didn't want that. It was basically like a thing to appeal to weirdos on the internet. And no, we have confirmation that that's not what they did here. And I'm honestly very surprised by this. I more than anyone, I think I was very, very skeptical of Bayonetta 3, but like going into this, like seeing the reviews, seeing like the gameplay footage, like I might have been wrong about like the quality of the game. I fully expect at this point that the game might actually be good, because going into like the release phase, I find myself like excited about it. I'm excited about playing this game. So I'm very, very curious about how the game holds up and what we see from it going forward. But we have confirmation that Bayonetta Jean has been best friend zoned.